Hello and welcome back to the Corporate Content Awards 2025, where I'm delighted to be joined now by Roger Lakin, who is the Head of Editorial Content, Group Communications at BP. And we're going to be focusing, rather appropriately, on BP's digital magazine, Energy in Focus, which has been shortlisted in Best Branded Content Publication. Roger, thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure.
Perhaps first of all, you could tell me a little bit about Energy in Focus and how that kind of supports BP's strategy and what it actually is.
It's our online magazine for the company, for BP, and everything about it is about strategy. We're very aligned to what BP is trying to do and the BP strategy. So, we reset the strategy earlier this year. Part of that strategy is to grow our upstream oil and gas business. So in the magazine, you'll see stories coming up about how we're helping countries like Iraq and India grow production from their giant fields. You'll see what we're doing to try and grow to 1 million barrels of oil and gas in the US. And later in the year, all being well, you'll see how a story about how we're starting up a major project in the North Sea here in the UK. Downstream as well, we're also part of the strategy focusing the downstream, and that's the bit of the business that probably people are more familiar with. It's the forecourts on the roadside. But so much more than that, and a font of absolutely fantastic stories. So things about how we're using AI and apps to spot potential problems before they turn into problems. Our Castrol business, how it's looking into lubricants that can be cooling for data centres. Even food scientists that are looking at how you make the most delicious pasties for the shops that are in our retail stations. Whole wealth of stories. So it's a phenomenal business, so much to write about. We're one of the few companies in the world where you'll go from helping to meet the energy needs of companies around the world to serving millions of customers, and that's a great place for writers because it's a great place for stories.
Well, it sounds like an absolutely fantastic magazine that's really fun. But how does it sort of demonstrate value to your customers and shareholders?
Value is incredibly important, as you would imagine, to BP. The way I'd say we do that is, if you think about energy, all of us use energy all the time, every day, whether we're filling up our car, whether we're charging our phone, charging our EV, getting on a boat or a bus or jumping on the tube. It's energy, energy, energy. It powers everything, and yet we don't really think about it. We just do it, we accept it's going to be there. Now, the energy system that makes all of that possible is really complex behind the scenes. So what we try and do is explain how energy goes from in the ground or in the sky, whether you're pulling it out with wind farms or solar, and taking that and putting it into the products and services that people use every day. So we're connecting the stories about what we do with the value that consumers derive from it, and most importantly also how shareholders can derive value from BP and our strategy and make us a great investment.
Absolutely. And how does it kind of reflect BP's contribution to the UK as a whole?
Well, as some people may know, we go back a very long way in the UK. 1909, the company was founded, so it's well over a century. We've been a massive global company for decades, but we're also huge in the UK still, and the UK is our home. So there's lots of things we're covering about the UK. For instance, we've got 16,000 jobs. 16,000 people work for BP in the UK, and another 65,000 whose work depends to some extent on BP. And I think it's an incredible statistic when you think every 400 jobs in the UK, one of those jobs is either working for BP or is supported in some way by working with BP. And that could be in the North Sea producing oil and gas. It could be helping to build our EV network. It could be on Teesside, where we're helping with the regeneration up there by building not just the UK's but possibly the world's first gas-powered fire station with carbon capture. So you take the emissions from that and you put them back under the North Sea. So again, fantastic stories, really adding value. And I take huge pride from the fact that what BP is helping to do to help shape the future of the UK.
Well, that's fantastic. And obviously these are stories that you want to tell. But my next question is, who's telling these stories? Who's actually writing the magazine? And why is that something that matters?
It matters hugely. So we're a very small team, small editorial team, but professional writers and journalists. And that matters, I would say, for two reasons. The first is quality, because it's a crowded marketplace out there. We want compelling content, and that takes good writers to produce that and fight for a place, for people's eyeballs and people's ears. Good writing, and we get that. And also, there's a lot of scrutiny of BP. We're a company with a lot of people looking at us and what we're doing. So that content has to be factual, and it has to be accurate as well as compelling. And for that reason, I've got a great team of writers, and I think that's really important that we do have that.
So tell me about the idea of leveraging editorial storytelling, why that's something that's so important at BP, and how far can that help take the brand in a positive direction?
It's really important. Storytelling, I think we all probably understand that. We've understood it for centuries. It goes back to the ancient Greeks. It just connects with people. And for us, that means that, we're a commercial company. We want to get across. We operate in a fiercely competitive world. We want to be able to get our stories, what we're doing, and the value of what we're doing across to our customers in the countries we work with. And there's also a second and really important factor in this as well. I mean, there's generally a crisis of trust, not just in companies like BP, but generally in institutions, in government. And a compelling story, well told, is a great way to earn trust. If you pack it with facts, you make it, honest, balanced, and compelling.
Absolutely. Well, Roger, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure chatting to you. And we look forward to seeing how BP get on tonight at the Corporate Content Awards 2025.